CJC Adventures. Carl here, and today Craig's with me, and we're in Coseley, and we're going to take a look at a crime that happened many years ago, way back in 1901. If you maybe have heard of this lady, her name was Hannah Johnson Cox. Now, it's been documented quite a bit, and we're going to take a look at the story of this lady and what she actually did to her children and what made her do it. We're going to take a look at the full story of what she did and what really happened. So let's go and take a look at the history of Hannah Johnson Cox's crime here in Coseley, near Coseley Tunnel. Let's go. Hannah Johnson Cox was convicted of the murder of her two children, 2-year-old Flora Jane Cox and 5-month-old Mary Madeline Cox. She was found guilty but insane. She drowned them on the 14th of June 1901 in the Birmingham Canal at Coseley. She had had 5 children in total, the others being 7, 6 and 5 years old. The court heard that she had been deserted by her husband and was destitute. Evidence was heard showing that during the greater part of her married life that she had had to depend for support on the generosity of some neighbours, and that for those people that her children would have been in a state of starvation. It was also heard that owing to her husband's drunken habits that she was deeply in debt, and that on the 13th of June 1901 that she was homeless without a penny and had to sleep that night at a neighbour's house. Her husband had been a screw turner by trade, but had had to give it up, his occupation, on account of his drunken habits. At the trial it was heard that the rent on her house had been 2 shillings, and that there had been £17 owing. A number of calls had been made for the rent, and a bailiff was later sent in to collect it. She was seen the following morning going towards the canal with her children, and later she rushed into the police station and stated that she had thrown them into the canal. She told the police constable that there had been turned out of her house not with a penny to even buy a loaf of bread. The police constable said that she looked pale and had been trembling and had a wild look in her eyes, that her manner was very strange. The police constable said that she wrung her hands and said, "Oh God, help me." She later said to a police sergeant, "I love those children as deeply as I love my life." The children were later found in the canal tied together with an apron. A boatman said that he had seen Hannah Cox on the canal bank with her children, and said that he had remarked to her that she had had a middling job, to which she had replied yes, and that he had later found a child's bonnet tied on some railings and recovered the bodies of the 2 children from the canal. When she was later examined by doctors, she was found unable to sleep and in a weak state, and with one doctor stating that she had marked signs of a mental disorder, although she had been able to answer questions rationally. When the judge summed up, he said that there was no doubt to what the finding the case ought to be, but that the question was whether or not she had known at the time that she was doing by throwing her children into the canal was wrong. He added that in his opinion he thought that Hannah Cox had, through misery, lost her reason, and that he thought that the jury would be of the same opinion. The jury then found Hannah Cox guilty, but that at the time she was not responsible for her act. The judge then later ordered that Hannah Cox be detained during the King's pleasure, but added that he didn't think that the permanent detention would be necessary and that would be unreasonable. The jury also noticed that they thought that Hannah Cox's husband ought to be censored. However, the judge told them that if he took his advice, that they would do nothing of the sort, as the husband had not been heard. And that's all the information of the crime of Hannah Johnson Cox. Quite a sad story, isn't it, really? To think, she seemed quite a decent person, you know, she tried to get on with life, and she was drove to what she did by a man who couldn't stop drinking. And back in those days, you know, things were quite different to today. There is help out there today, but back then it must have been awful. But it's funny what things and people, you know, horrible people can do to the mind. So that is pretty much what happened. So we're going to take a look now of where the actual crime happened. This is Coseley Tunnel, and this is the area where the crime occurred. And it's not a bad tunnel, it's not that long of course, but a lot of people have, you know, done ghost call outs and they've heard things, they've recorded things, and we're going to try that today. We're going to have a look at calling out Anna Johnson Cox, and maybe we'll get a reply. We're not going to use any equipment or anything like that. What we're going to do instead, we're just going to listen with our ears and just see what we can hear, or maybe even see, who knows. We're going to do it the old natural fashion way, so let's go and try it now. This is where I done it, Craig. Oh, I made it two of the kids, oh. Anna Johnson Cox, oh. This is the southern part, eh? It's where it all happened. It's weird to think, eh? About Monday from the kids in here.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
Is there a Anna Johnson Cox present? No reply. Got a good time though, yeah.
Yeah.
If there is, did you murder your children in this tunnel? Can you make a sound? Like bang on a rail? So what we'll do, we'll move down into the tunnel a bit more, eh? Yeah. We're about halfway through now, so I'm going to try it again. Have another little look, see what we can hear, see what we can see. We do it the old fashioned way. It's okay. There's a lot of dripping water in here, Coseley Tunnel, so you've got to take that into account if you do hear anything strange. Alright, we'll try again. Is there a Anna Johnson Cox in this tunnel? If there is, please make a noise. No. I suppose you've got to be patient here, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, then. Sounded like a voice to you. If there is a Anna Johnson Cox, did you murder your children on the south side of this tunnel? If you did, can you make yourself known? It sounded like a voice, that did then. Yeah. Is it true that your husband was cruel to you? Apart from the dripping, it does sound like different noises, that does sound. Can you make a noise to say you're present? If there is a Hannah Johnson Cox present, please can you make a noise? You can actually hear different noises in here actually, it's just compared to the dripping sounds. What the? Something just dropped into the canal over there. I don't know what it was. It's been like that a very long time here. Very long time. I mean, by all accounts, it is one of the most haunted tunnels in the country. You know what people have heard in there, but you've got to actually be in there a really long time, mate, to try and hear something. And
Oh, yeah. Just to come here and leave in there to not really hear and you could say you didn't move that way.
things have been heard in there, don't they? So,
Oh,
yeah. I'm going to try one more time. If there is a Hannah Johnson Cox present, please make a noise. It's gone really cold in here, eh? It was that cold when we walked through. It has really gone cold in here now. Did you murder your children in this tunnel? I did hear something then. Did you hear that? Did sound like a voice there. And now we've come through to the southern side. This is the southern side where the murders happened, eh?
yeah.
And when we was going through first, someone dropped in the water. Just here. It might have been a duck or something, but I don't know. Something seemed to happen as we was like calling out Anna Johnson Cox's name. So it just make the thing do it, like, you know. So could it have been that, you know? And that's it for today on CJC Adventures on this historic day of trying to find out the history of Hannah Johnson Cox. Now, we did try a bit of a ghost hunt, but unsuccessful, if you like. We did get a bit of a cold chill in there. We heard a little noise apart from the dripping water, but apart from that, it was all okay. enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Click on the subscribe icon and the bell. You're notified when each video is uploaded. And please share. And until next time, look after yourselves and each other. And goodbye for now.